Practicing gratitude. A lot of people talk about it, but what is it actually supposed to give you as benefits? Does it actually work? And if it does work, how can you do it in such a way that it works quickly so that you notice and you can keep going because you notice some positive results rather than having to wait another month to see any change? Oh, and lastly, do you have to be a hippie or like a new age fanatic to actually do this? In this video, I'll give you the answers to all of these questions from my perspective as a communication and impact coach and somebody who's been dabbling with the idea of practicing gratitude for a number of years, not just by myself, but also with my coaching clients. And you know what? It turns out that there are massive benefits to practicing gratitude. It also turns out that you can do it even if you're a cynic like me. And it turns out you don't have to believe in it or anything else in order for it to work. So before I explain the simplest way of doing this in a way that actually it makes sense and works for you every day, let's get into those benefits of why practicing gratitude actually is a really crucial practice to do every day. So when it comes to practicing gratitude, I've certainly heard some neuroscientists talk about happy hormones being released and so forth, but the problem is, I'm not a neuroscientist. I don't know what's going on with my hormones sometimes. I only know what I can notice in terms of results and changes in my way of thinking, in my way of being, in my way of feeling. So I'm going to be talking about it from my perspective of having performed human experiments on myself. So the biggest benefits I found are, number one, when you're practicing gratitude, that means when you're focusing on things that you're grateful for, you're basically counteracting this lack mindset that we mostly live in. There is evolution to blame. We are apparently, as human beings, designed to always want a bit more. But also when you think about media and social media and TV ads and all of that, all of the things that we're seeing on screens are designed to basically make us feel like we need something else. It's bound to make us somewhat unhappy if we are stuck in it all the time. So what we're doing is when we're focusing on what we're grateful for, we are temporarily at least getting ourselves to focus on something that we already have, that we are positive about, that we are grateful for. And it gives us the ability to feel more abundant for a time. And it resets something in your wiring a little bit that you do have many things already. So you're coming more from a perspective of strength and a perspective of I have, rather than I haven't. If you're single and you're constantly going, I don't have a girlfriend, I don't have a girlfriend, I need a girlfriend, you're not going to attract anybody. You need to feel that you are already abundant. You have things to give rather than just needing things from people. And that's also something that this gratitude idea gives you, that sense that you have things to give, that you have things to share. And that makes you more generous, not just with money, but in spirit. And you're creating a state in yourself that is basically like, yes, I am somebody that has things. That's great. And you do it all by just focusing on what you're grateful for. Thirdly, I think it's really important in life to feel lucky. Often we feel sorry for ourselves when we focus on stuff that we don't have, right? Oh, I could have a bigger house. I could have more money. I could look better. I could be taller. I could be younger. There are all these things that I could be focusing on all the time. And I do. But not while I'm practicing being grateful. So it is great to feel lucky. And by the way, this doesn't mean that we're pretending that everything is perfect. No, we are just selectively focusing on what we are grateful for, because we don't do that enough. As such, here's my recommendation for how to implement this in your daily life as a routine, because what you want to do is you want to turn this into a routine rather than a one-off event. Your mornings are incredibly important. You set the tone for the day. You set the direction of how you're going to be during the day. You're setting your character in a way for the day. So you can do this in many different ways. You can, for example, set the timer on your phone, and then you can do 5 minutes focusing on what am I grateful for. If you are in a place where you're alone, you can do this out loud. It can be really helpful. Or you can do it in your head. So you can do it, for example, if you do some yoga in the morning or some stretching, or you go for a run in the morning, do it while you're doing that. It's a great way of combining it with physical movement. Rather than just thinking random thoughts when you're on a run, just think, what am I grateful for? And then brainstorm, just simply brainstorm. I'm grateful for this. I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for waking up. I'm grateful for having a house. I'm grateful for my girlfriend. I'm grateful for my family who've always supported me. I'm grateful for having a laptop, which I can do so much work with. You can do it in the bathroom. You go to the bathroom, you go have your shower, rather than your random thoughts that you're having or the kind of lethargic way of like being. You just focus on, what am I grateful for? Yeah, really helpful to build it into your routine. You might even do this straight away when you're waking up. Set a timer, 5 minutes. What am I grateful for? Do it first thing in the morning. That's best, because you're creating a perfect mindset in yourself from the beginning. Okay, so the key with this is that you keep going. There are no right or wrong answers. People always say that, but there really are no right or wrong answers. It's all about what it is for you that you are grateful for on that particular day, whatever comes into your mind. The key is to keep going. What else am I grateful for? Yeah, just prompt yourself. When you ask yourself a question, the mind cannot resist actually answering it. Yeah, so all you have to do to keep yourself focused is just to keep asking the question. Now, does this have to be stuff that other people find really important? No. Does this have to be big stuff? No. It can be small things, anything that comes to your mind. Do you have to believe in it? No, you just have to do it, practice it, and keep going. I'm saying this so that you will get started and that you will actually do it. But you can do this literally like mechanically out loud. Obviously, even then, your brain is engaged because you have to come up with the thoughts. Yeah. Of course, if you want to take a moment and think about what you're really grateful for, that's even better. Yeah. So focus a little bit. And in the long term, you'll find that, things come to you that you never thought you would be grateful for, actually, because you've completely forgotten and you're taking them for granted. How can this possibly go wrong? Well, you might say, you know what, my life sucks so hard that I cannot be grateful for anything. I can't think of anything. Like, I'm not grateful for anything because I'm in such a bad situation and life sucks. So in that case, ask yourself, what could I be grateful for if I was grateful for something? Yeah. If I was the person that was grateful for things, what could I be grateful for? And by the way, if you're like, I'm not grateful for anything, I don't know what I can be grateful for, I have nothing, my life sucks, then you need to practice this even more, because that is just a mindset. That is a way of not seeing what's already happening. We just have this tendency always to go in the other direction. And that's why we continuously feel so frustrated. Now, I strongly recommend doing this in the morning. However, you could also build on that during the day. You could use focusing on things you're grateful for anytime during the day to reset and get yourself back into a sort of like an abundant mindset. Yeah. You could also do it in the evening. People like to talk about journals sometimes. You could write down what you're grateful for about the day. And it's a nice way of doing it. And if you can build it into your evening routine, great. You can do the same thing. You can say it out loud. Me personally, for me, saying it out loud or saying it in my head, just the mental focus can be really, really helpful. It requires a bit of practice, but when you get used to it, you will know what happens, because your mind changes and your state changes, and it creates a real mindset and a state shift in you. One thing I want to warn you about, okay? There are lots of like videos online as well where people are like, I'm going to give you the 10 most effective gratitude affirmations, and I'm going to talk them at you, and you can listen to them and it will miraculously kind of settle into your mind, blah, 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 blah. I don't really recommend those, to be honest, because you need to do a little bit of effort with your own mind. Yeah. When you make that effort of trying to come up with things that you're grateful for, of recognizing things in your life that you're grateful for, people, events, whatever, that's when you create the mindset shift. By listening passively to somebody else giving you whatever they think are great gratitude, affirmations or whatever, is not that helpful. Now, let me ask you something. Did you find this video useful? If you found it useful at all, please leave a comment and let me know what you found most useful and what kind of videos do you want from me in the future. Maybe another question about this topic. And leave a comment and just give me a thumbs up if you like the video. It really helps. And secondly, if you like this, then you're probably going to love my program, The Challenge, which is designed to help you double your self-confidence and self-esteem in about 6 weeks. If you haven't tried it yet, go here and check it out. If you have, check out this next video.